Welcome, everybody. Today is day 2 officially of our 7-day hormonal health reset. And if you're watching the recording, this is a little Q&A time that you have with me to ask me questions, to check in with one another, to have that extra added level of accountability. So we're just going to get right into it. I want to ask Lacey how it went yesterday.
It went well. At first I was a little like, oh my goodness, it's a lot to make with a little one and everything else that we have going on. I'm coaching soccer right now. And so, but once I got into it, then, you get in the groove and it went well. Yeah.
Yeah. So what were you able to make? Because I know too, yesterday we kind of talked about, picking and choosing and if there's leftovers and making life easy. So what did you end up actually making?
I did the baked oatmeal. And I did the bowl for lunch. I can't think what it was called, but
green bowl.
What you had down for lunch. But then I changed up dinner, and I did the portobello mushroom and kale.
Nice.
Because my husband was like, I'm not feeling eggplant. He's doing it with me. So.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. Yeah. Because
it's
definitely enough when you make it to have for 2 or 3 or even 4 people sometimes.
Right. And he's wanting to he travels for work also. So I'm like, today I packed things ahead for him to take. And so he's working. I'm going to grab my youngest real quick. I'll be right back.
Here, but yeah, go ahead. Mom life. It's awesome. How you guys doing? I hope you guys enjoyed this first day so far. Hopefully you didn't run into too many hiccups. We have so many peaches that I ended up making a lot of dishes with peaches yesterday. And then we finished off the last of our watermelon. We had some mangoes that were going bad, so we also sliced up some of those mangoes for the kids after dinner. Just, picking and choosing and making it work for the life that we have, which is super busy and preoccupied and demanding, right? That's a good way of saying it. It's ever changing. There's so many different variables, and sometimes I make something and my kids just like throw it right off the high chair or, don't eat a bite of it from the table. And other days I feel like I'm winning at life and I sneak in that butternut squash into their mac and cheese. Or when like today, the green smoothie bowl, they all ate my green smoothie bowl. I probably had just a couple bites of it before they left for the day, which was really funny. So I'm anxious to hear how things are going for everyone. I kind of was wondering too, if maybe we should do like a separate Facebook page. I don't know if that appeals to you, but I don't know. I just had this idea that maybe if we had a place we could convene every day, even if you just checked in once or twice. Is that something you'd be interested in?
I think that'd be great.
Yeah, and then we could kind of post our recipes there or questions we have about stuff. Because I know like I'm in communication with everybody, but not everybody's in communication with each other.
Right.
On these mentor calls. And maybe too, like a Facebook Live might work better for some people than a Zoom platform. So we can play around with that too.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah, did you have any questions from this experience so far, whether it's about the supplements or meditation or getting your heart rate up or any of that?
Can you explain more about each supplement? I've been meaning to get on the website and like look at them more, but just maybe from your like what experience like the differences you've seen in yourself from using the supplements.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna get them so that they can see which ones I'm talking about. Perfect. And again, we're still moving, so sorry for the mess behind me.
No problem.
Okay. So you may think this is crazy, but I'm such a believer in these supplements that I buy them in bulk. Like, check this out.
Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness.
I'm just like, I have to have my probiotics on hand. I never want to run out. And I have boxes of those in the Lifelong Vitality Pack and Terrazyme too. And the Terrazyme actually goes the fastest because my husband takes double the dose.
Wow.
He was in the military and served in Iraq and Afghanistan. And ever since he lived in the Middle East, his digestive tract has never been the same.
Oh, goodness.
Hardly, like, he has irritable bowel syndrome. And so with the Terrazyme every day, he's able to go through life and like not have to run out of meetings and stuff. So it's the best.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
great.
So I'll start with these ones just because these are like staples every single day too, but kind of take
Okay.
the order. But I do the Microplex VMZ before breakfast, and I do 2 of each from each bottle, but I've given you guys half the dose so that you can kind of ease into it. I wasn't sure who asked the question about possibly having like detox symptoms, but that may happen for someone that jumps in head first and starts taking the full dose, just because it's so many antioxidants out like all at once that the body may have a shock, especially if there's high toxicity in the body, like different chemicals or fungus or yeast or any kind of bacteria that's hanging out. Sometimes we even have just like dormant bacteria that gets a culture shock when you introduce all the antioxidants in your body. But this multivitamin is basically what you would get for fulfilling your nutritional needs. So all the things that you're not getting in your diet, all your vitamins and trace minerals, you're getting in this. And this is what helps me to balance my cravings. So like prior to taking the Lifelong Vitality Pack, I found myself really like getting to the bottom of a bag of, even if it was something healthy, carrots, pita chips, whatever it was, and still feeling this heart hunger and not understanding where it was coming from, because sometimes even my jaw would hurt. Like, I don't know how or why. I would be working or something, have that right there on the desk, and I would just keep eating it. And it was because my body wasn't getting this foundational nutritious intake every day. And so I just kept reaching for food until I started taking this. And then this consistently over like 30 days time, what happens is your body starts to regulate itself, and it starts to recognize that, okay, I don't have to go towards, this craving or that craving, that my body is going to be getting what it needs every day. And so it's almost expecting it. And it's kind of cool. It's actually something that I notice very quickly when I forget to take them. So I would say it helps with cravings. It also has helped me to reach for things that are healthier too. Like in the past, when I'd have those cravings, I would want more carbs, more sugar, things that were just going to make me feel full, and the more sugar you have, obviously, the more you want. Sugar is stored as fat, and and fat cells lead to more estrogen production. So it's just like this whole cycle of downward spiral when it comes to your hormonal imbalances. So this is the Exi Omega. This is the one that's the DHA, fish oil, and fatty acids. And this would be the one that you would take alongside the VMZ, but it's specifically for your systems, like your heart, your lungs, your liver, and your brain. So all the functioning organs in the body that really help keep us alive. And those organs are really made out of fatty tissues and collagen. So if you're a person that takes collagen peptides, that's a great thing to add into your diet, because that's what your body's lacking. Over time, that collagen starts to deplete. And so our body's looking for other ways to help keep it protected. And so calcium tends to build up around our big arteries and around our big organs to protect it. But we don't want that, because then that leads to like premature aging and menopause. And so when you have a DHA omega-3 fatty acid in your diet, more importantly, like fish oil or, oh, something just popped up on my screen. It's wanting to download something. I don't know. Get rid of that. Yeah, so when you consume this in your diet, what ends up happening is it starts to really flush away all of the buildup and bacteria that surrounds those, and then makes it easier for those systems to function and pump blood through. And then the cool thing too is that it helps with the like brain development. So people always say like you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but you can, because if you're taking your DHA fatty acids, the whole brain works a lot smoother. There is less inflammation that happens. So inflammation can cause things like migraines, head tension, tension in your neck and your back, and even like tension with your chest too. Yeah, like that tightness in your chest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did you have a question? Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, I'm dealing with a lot of headache. I've had a headache since Thursday. Finally, it broke this morning, but it's tension. I know it's tension. It's in my head. It's sinuses too.
Mm-hmm.
But
yes,
I know a lot of
lead to a lot of pressure.
How much going on? Yeah.
Yes. Do you have essential oils?
I do.
Yeah. So you can like use some of the respiratory support blends like Breathe, which has eucalyptus and peppermint and cardamom. Or you could even do something like a conifer. Conifer comes from a tree. So, hi, buddy.
Hi.
You could do like a Siberian fir or a white fir or a Douglas fir, something that comes from a tree and then mixed together with a citrus. So a tree resin and a citrus really open up the lungs, like a Douglas fir and a wild orange, or Siberian fir and lime. I love Siberian fir and grapefruit too. Those are great. You could just rub them on your chest with some coconut oil. Just remember that when you do apply citrus on the skin, that you need to avoid direct sunlight for up to 8 hours, or you can just put it under your clothes. Like you can wear a shirt over it.
Okay. So it is okay to have it as long as your skin is covered too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as long as it's not in direct sunlight, okay. You're good. Yeah.
Okay. I don't have any of the first essential oils. Cypress wouldn't. I have cypress.
Okay. Yeah, totally.
What would you combine that with?
Cypress would be good with any of the citrus oils, probably lemon or lime.
Okay.
I use cypress in the bathroom when I'm taking a shower, so I just keep it in the bathroom when I want to open up my sinuses. I'll drop it on the shower floor.
Okay. Oh, that's good.
Yeah. You just want to make sure you dilute it if you're going to use it on your kids, though. It does have the kind of like that pepperminty cooling sensation.
Okay.
So when I make a chest rub, like a DIY Vicks Vapor Rub, I'll use cold pressed coconut oil, so the really thick white kind, and just put it in a mason jar with some like marjoram, sandalwood, and thyme. That's really good for respiratory, especially for things like croup or a cough.
Okay. Will you say those again?
Yeah, marjoram.
Okay.
Sandalwood and thyme.
Okay. Taking notes.
Perfect. So the last one in the Lifelong Vitality Pack is this Alpha CRS Plus. And this is the cellular vitality complex. And what this one does is this one specifically works through the mitochondria of the cell. So it gives your body energy. It works through the energy source of the cells. So instead of giving you a high, like a caffeine high through like a racing heart, or even getting a headache from too much caffeine, you're not actually consuming caffeine with it. It's just antioxidants, and it's working its way through the body with the cellular development, and more importantly, like the energy source of the cells. And then something else that's cool is it helps to eliminate those extra free radicals that are hanging out. So when you think about apoptosis, right, that's when our cells, it helps the cells to die off in a healthy manner versus hanging around and wreaking havoc on the body. And our cells can really only reproduce off their most recent copy. So if your cells are really depleted in their energy source and they're starting to degenerate, that's when it leads to things like bigger issues in the body, whether it's autoimmune disease or other degenerative diseases. Does that make sense?
It does. Yeah.
This one really helps. And this is what gives this whole kit here the name Lifelong Vitality Complex. I learned that a couple of years ago. And it's because for compliance with the FDA, they can't say that it expands your lifespan, but they can say that it extends morbidity, which I thought was so funny. So it's just a way of saying like it does help your life to be more fulfilled and enriching for a longer period of time.
Okay, great. So those are sold together.
Yeah, those are sold together. Typically the Alpha CRS Plus is $69 all on its own because of all the antioxidants and where it's sourced too. So everything's organic, everything has such high quality ingredients, and the sourcing industry has helped with that. So for $10 more, they let you combine them. That's how it is with doTERRA. They always let you bundle and save. Like the Terrazyme is normally $37 on its own, but when you combine it with these, it goes down to $20.
Okay.
And same thing with this. It goes from $34.50 down to $20 when you bundle it. So they just let you do that because they know that like when you buy a lot of supplements, it's going to cost money the more you get, and so they just give it to us at a discounted price, which is cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. He is reaching for the rest of the bowl from this morning.
Oh, nice.
Bowl. So I'm going to grab him some, but I'm still listening.
For sure. Go ahead. So fun. Hope you guys are having an awesome day. It's so hard in the beginning to just get your bearings and feel like you've got a handle on things. And so just know that you're not alone and that I've walked this path before and that it doesn't have to be as hard as sometimes we make it out to be. So one day at a time, 1 hour at a time, one lunch at a time, whatever it is, just know that it's going to take time and the body will respond to what you're doing. And that's something that is very reassuring for me too, is to know that like what I'm doing is going to pay off over time. And the more healthy choices, the more conscious I am about what I include in my diet and what I include in my day and my supplements and all of that is going to really pay off in the long run. I have people ask me that all the time, especially when I'm eating out at a restaurant or something. I'll show you what I bring. I bring this little this is what I bring in my purse everywhere I go. It's just like a little pill holder. Well, you can see. And so I always have my Terrazyme in there because I take 2 before every meal. And so I'll get people that ask me like, what are you doing? And, you know, you're so young, why do you take those? And I'm like, well, this is how I'm going to stay young and healthy. And this is what makes my body feel good. So stop hating. There's always going to be haters, right? Okay, so Terrazyme, this one serves 2 purposes. It helps you to, 1, digest the food better, like way better. And 2, it helps you to absorb the nutrients within the food you're eating. So instead of just eating something and having it be like empty calories, it's just going through you and it's filling you up and you're done, you're able to digest it so it actually munches and crunches down the food. In so much that if you were to get like a stain or something on your shirt and it was a food stain, you could break open a Terrazyme and rub it on your shirt and it would eat away at whatever stain is there. Like that's how effective it is. It really helps to like physically crunch and munch down the food so that you don't get that like bloating feeling after you eat, especially if you have food sensitivities. This goes through 10 of the most common food groups and different things that we consume. Remember, sugar is hidden in 66 different names, and so it helps to break down sugars as well, which is awesome. And then the last one here, Lacey, is the probiotic. And the probiotic, I'm going to open this one up. I just finished my bottle last night, so I need to stick this one in the fridge. I know you guys know what it looks like, but just for kicks and giggles, because it's so fun to look at the colors of this thing. So
should it be refrigerated?
I like to keep it in the fridge, but you don't have to. It's not required. I like to keep them in the fridge because they are, you know, vulnerable to light and temperature, and where I live is very humid and hot. So that's just why. But so yeah, so this right here, this double encapsulation, the green one is where the living microorganisms are. And then the clear outside rim there is called chlorophyll. And that chlorophyll is protecting the probiotics from any stomach acid or any other property in the body that's going to damage the probiotic. Again, probiotics are very vulnerable. They're very sensitive. They can even be sensitive to smells, which is crazy. So as you're consuming that with your 8-ounce glass of water right before bed, you are allowing these microbiome, this living microorganisms, to go down into your gut flora and repopulate the gut with good bacteria. So you've probably already started to see a difference with this one. It helps to really regulate your bowel movements. It helps to regulate, for me, it helps to regulate my mental health. Like I find that in the morning, I'm a lot happier. I'm ready to go. I'm not groggy in the morning anymore. Simply because I take one of these every day. I know you guys are doing every other day, but that again is to get you started on this so you don't have like a total gut clearing and think like, we know what's wrong with me, right? Because it's all good, but I want to like ease you into it and make sure that I'm not overloading you. So yeah, does that kind of give a better understanding of what we are?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, good. Well, good. I am so glad I got to catch up with you today. And okay, today I already had my green smoothie bowl and all of my kids pretty much ate all of it. I got a little bit of it. And then I set out my sunflower veggie wrap last night. I pre-made and like chopped up everything because I have a few appointments today and I know that I won't have time to like get into the kitchen and wash my, I have a Ninja. Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah, that's what I have.
Yes, isn't it the best?
Yeah, it is.
It's the best. It works on like frozen stuff, like anything. I just love it.
Yeah.
And then the beet and berry juice I'm actually gonna have tomorrow because I need to go get some beets. And then tonight, my whole family loves these Buddha bowls. They're obsessed. So hopefully you guys like them too.
So that's what I was going to ask you is what, how much you prep ahead.
Yeah.
And like any tips of things that you do prep ahead and
yeah,
looking forward.
In like real life, outside of this 7-day reset, I prep a lot. Like what I do is, it's kind of funny because people think this is gross, but I prep on Sunday and then we eat it like all week long. So I'll chop all of our veggies that I'm going to do for the week. I even put stuff in the freezer. Like I have pre-freezer Ziplocs that have the amount of like spinach I want in my smoothie and berries and all of that, just because life is on the go all the time, right? And so I'm giving you guys more of like a very robust recipe list this week so that you have more options moving forward. But in, like I said, in my real life, in quotes, I prep everything. I even do like the night before, if we have a bunch of leftover stuff, then I'll include that in different recipes the next day and not even use what I had from Sunday's prep. You know what I mean? So like, I just keep it real simple.
Okay.
I also can find too, like there are some things that my family just loves. And so I don't want to get in that rut of like making that same thing over and over again. So I'll find those same ingredients, like if they really love sweet potatoes or whatever, then I'll switch it up and try to do something different that still has that in it so they'll like it, but make it not boring. Because I get really bored in the kitchen when it's just the same things over and over again. Like I love to experiment with new recipes. So I don't know if that helps, but.
Yeah. I prepped the smoothie I had this morning in a bag and put it in the freezer because I like my kale and spinach and everything frozen anyway for a smoothie. So.
Yeah, exactly. It makes it so much easier.
It does. Yeah.
Well, good. I'm so glad we catch up today, and hopefully I'll get to see you again tomorrow.
I hope so.
Bye, Lacey.
Bye. Have a great day.
You too. See ya.
See ya.